Hello everyone, I'm Raven from Raven Comics. Today I bring you the full story of Flash Forward, a series that marked the return of Wally West and led him to face the most unexpected fate in the entire multiverse. After the tragic events of Heroes in Crisis, Wally hit rock bottom. But now, time, space, and all of reality need him. Can someone who lost everything become the savior of it all? This is Flash Forward, the full story. We begin on Earth with Wally West. He was having a brief memory of his friend Roy Harper. My name is Wally West. I am the loneliest man alive. I have only myself to blame. I've been wearing this suppression collar, not as a punishment, but for the safety of others. The collar slows my body down, but it does nothing to stop my brain from racing at hundreds of miles per hour. Sleep isn't even an option. Dreams? I don't deserve them. Peace, forgiveness, redemption? After everything I've done, of course not. All I deserve are memories of this nightmare I've created for myself. I didn't rob a bank or try to throw the planet into the sun. I killed other heroes, true heroes, at their weakest and most vulnerable moment. I didn't do it on purpose. I lost control. It took less than a fraction of a second. 13 brave lives gone in an instant, all because of me. I'm not a hero. Of course I'm not. They had to put me somewhere while I wait for my trial, for my own good, and for the safety of the world around me. When will my speed force flare up again? With Iron Heights destroyed, Blackgate is overflowing with the worst of the worst. Everyone here hates me. I'm not trying to be modest. Either I put my fellow inmates here, or I know someone who did, like Jeremy Tell, double down. Calling him third-rate would be a compliment. Like the rest of us, he can't use his powers in here. But that doesn't mean he can't improvise. He's looking for credit, the guy who killed the Flash. It would be so easy for both of us. But no, that's not happening. Someone steps in and stops him. Maybe the last person I expected to save my ass, Dr. Michael Christian. He may have saved me, but he didn't do it to help me. He did it so I'd see. So I'd suffer as long as possible. So he could watch. Suddenly, everything is interrupted. I'm told I have a visitor. The Titans? The Justice League? I made it clear I didn't want to talk to anyone. I have no idea who would come to visit me. The surprise is overwhelming when I see Linda Park. In another time, in another reality, she was my wife, the mother of my children. Now, I've been told our children never existed. Do you wonder why I'm losing it? While all this is happening, elsewhere, we have an interlude at the edge of the multiverse. He is Tarkle of Edia, 12, a galactically renowned treasure hunter. But no one has ever climbed the impossible, traveling across the incalculable to claim a treasure that no thinking creature would dare to call their own. The Mobius chair. The chair was previously used by Metron. Since it was abandoned by the entity known as Metron, it requires a new host to function. Legends and whispers in the silence have led Tarkle to this place. Only the strongest souls and the sharpest minds can even hope to sit upon this throne of all knowledge. Weaker creatures have been erased by the tsunami of cosmic truth. But Tarkle is unafraid to become its vessel. He sits in the chair. The power of the chair is too much. He cannot withstand it. And so it continues, as it has countless times before. Tarkle was just one of many before him, arrogant enough to believe he could tame the Mobius chair. But the truth is far darker, because no one owns the chair. When you sit, you belong to the chair. Now, we return to Blackgate with Wally West. Night or day, the memories are there, blaming innocent people for my mistakes. Sanctuary was supposed to help me heal, but instead, it broke me. I was ready to show my actions, not my words, killing a future version of myself to establish an alibi. How insane was I for that to make sense at the time? I try to sleep, but even with my eyes closed, my mind sees them. All of them. Someone new arrives. Looks like I can't trust anyone in this place. Girder tries to hurt me. Something happens to his collar. His powers aren't being suppressed. A good bribe gets anything, even him. If he doesn't have his collar, and I still have mine, there's no way I can survive this. Even if I wanted to. Girder starts his attack. There's nothing Wally can do to defend himself. Everyone knows he killed his friends. He's the worst kind of fallen idol. He doesn't even fight back. What's he going to do? Wally knows that Lagoon Boy and the others, they never had a chance to defend themselves against him. For Girder, this isn't as fun as he thought it would be. Then suddenly, something starts happening to Wally's collar. His powers seem to be returning. It's time to fight back. This is interesting to Wally West. No matter how many times he convinces himself he wants to give up, he can't, because there's still some fight left in him. Out of nowhere, Tempest appears before him. His condition is critical. No doubt he was right to risk such damage to his immortal body to make it all this way. Wally tries to help him, but Tempest tells him not to worry. His body is reacting to the corruption of the multiverse. Wally asks why he's here. This isn't a place he wants to be, and he has to believe that. Once they return to where he belongs, Tempest tells Wally that he believes his actions have disqualified him. But people everywhere have regrets, recriminations, rage, vengeance, loss, and hatred. There are points, connections where the fate of a world could change. All of it is being diverted into the dark multiverse. The dark multiverse is the place of decay. Entire worlds, entire realities, nothing but fleeting remnants. Wally has to see what's next. They are destined to break, to be swallowed by the darkness itself. Until now, what is happening? A dark world refuses to die. For Wally, all of this sounds very interesting, but he can't help. He can't help anyone. Tempest tells him that they need the fastest being in the entire multiverse to save the worlds affected by this cataclysm and finally destroy the anomaly causing it. Wally asks him to excuse him, but he's not interested. Even if he had the ability to travel between worlds, he couldn't do it. He tried to be a hero, and many people are dead because of him. Wally apologizes again. Tempest chose the wrong guy to save the worlds. Tempest is going to make him see reason. He has only glimpsed the power he possesses since he became unbound. There's no more time to keep talking. He didn't explain it clearly. He wasn't asking for help. It is Wally's destiny to serve the cosmos. Tempest fires at him anyway, and Wally asks what he did to him. This is his uniform. He was never supposed to wear these clothes again, clothes that represent everything. Tempest tells him everything will be clarified and wishes him a good journey. Wally asks him not to leave, but Tempest is staying in this place. The only one leaving is Wally West. After a brief journey through the multiverse, Wally appears before Superman. But this is not the Superman he knows. This one is the President Superman of Earth, 23, and he must not fall. Wally looks around and realizes this is the White House. Or should he say a White House? Not the one they are thinking of, not the one from his Earth. For better or worse, he doesn't know this president. President Superman tells Wally he shouldn't be here. Wally certainly agrees with that. Something is bothering the president. He can't protect Wally because he is seriously injured. But who is it that he can't protect Flash from? Wally doesn't even know this Earth. He usually says he's the fastest man alive, but right now, he's in an unknown part of the multiverse, so he can't claim that title here. This is Earth, 23, and a great beast has arrived to attack. Wally quickly grabs the president and tries to protect him. It seemed like the beast managed to land a hit on Wally, but the president caught Flash. Suddenly, a staff begins to glow. Superman asks why it's glowing. Wally tells him he wishes he knew. More or less, it's a gift from a more or less friend. Tempest gave Wally that staff when he sent him on this journey. Flash has noticed something. Whatever this staff is, the monster hates it. It looks like they've taken down the beast. Someone new arrives and orders Wally to lower the staff and step away from the president. This is the Justice League of America. If he attacks one of them, he will have to face the entire league. The president tells everyone to stand down. Flash is an ally. Flash asks if he needs medical attention. The president tells him there's no time for that right now. He needs to tell them what happened before it's too late. Earlier, he was flying home on the autopilot bird plane 1 for ceremonial appearances when he was ambushed by an as-yet unidentified threat. Down at the base of the Grand Canyon, he found the attackers, creatures of incredible and fiercely corrosive power, a dense, dark energy that is even difficult to explain. Their mere touch made him feel like he was experiencing the death of worlds. Fearing he was dealing with a symptom rather than the disease, he had to retreat to regroup. That's when he called everyone. While in his office, he learned that this dark energy comes from an alternate universe. It was as he feared. These demonic creatures are merely a byproduct of the real problem. He ran a simulation. If they don't stop the dark matter before it spreads, the entire planet will be engulfed within an hour. But there's more. Congress authorized the launch of the anti-life bomb. If they can't fight this dark matter and stop the bomb in the next 15 minutes in the Grand Canyon, millions will die in the explosion's radius. The president keeps talking, but Wally uses his staff to urge him to rest. In response, the Justice League turns against Flash, leaving him with no choice but to run. He doesn't want any more deaths, not if he can stop it. On his Earth, he gave up. No, he simply stopped trying to defend himself. He was living for his punishment. He never imagined a punishment that could atone for what he had done, until Tempest found him. He explained that entire worlds were hanging by a thread, and that Wally was the only one who could help. Honestly, Tempest, wherever you are, a little more information would have been useful. Tempest appears before Wally. Then he has to listen now. This whole time, Tempest has been watching Wally. After all, he is a cosmic being. Wally has to ask him something. What is this dark matter? And what does he have to do? Tempest would tell him to find the rift between worlds and seal it with the staff, but it's too late. The anti-life bomb or the dark matter will consume this world. Whatever Wally does here, millions of people are going to die. He has to move on. This world is a lost cause. Wally tells him to shut up. Tempest started this, and he's going to stop it. At least, that's what he hopes. Before Wally can move forward, something stops him. A group is here to stop him. Great. Tempest said the dark matter was eating away at the barriers between worlds. Something tells him these heroes are from Earth. Who the hell knows where? Well, it looks like the retaliators have found their culprit. Wally assumes there's no way they'll trust him and let him clean up the dark matter disaster they're standing on. Obviously, they're not going to let Wally keep moving forward, so he has no choice but to start running. Meanwhile, in the Oval Office of the Society, the Justice League is trying to revive the president when suddenly, something makes them all stop. On the other hand, Wally apologizes. These guys seem like good people, a little quick to draw their weapons, maybe, but he has a planet to save. He really wishes he had enough time to explain what's going on, but they don't have it. It looked like Wally had finished the battle, but suddenly, someone strikes him from behind with lightning. Thunder Rider and Wind Rider are responsible for the attack, celebrating because it seems they've taken down their opponent. After all, what mortal could stand against the fury of their combined storms? Well, any other speedster wouldn't be able to stand up. Bad luck for them, because Wally can. He can take all the lightning they can throw at him and send it back 10 times stronger. Everyone keeps attacking. This is when Wally wonders, is there something wrong with me? We're talking about the end of worlds, and I haven't had this much fun in years. Is it because it's been so long since I let myself go? Many want to hurt him, but a speedster is too much for this team. This staff that Tempest gave him is incredible. It's like pure, concentrated light, purging the dark energy. It can melt away that completely lifeless sludge. That's it. He saved both worlds. Thunder Rider tells her team that she's receiving a signal from home. Their Earth is healing. Wally isn't sure how much longer they can keep this portal open. He thinks this is their chance to go home, whatever their cause may be. Everyone starts running. The retaliators give the order they need to return home. Whatever Wally did, they're grateful. Well, good for them. Yeah, but the anti-life bomb is only 6 seconds away from landing here at Ground Zero, which isn't much time, even for Wally. Flash is about to go for the bomb, but something surprises him. President Superman already has it in his hands. Wally is relieved to see that the staff purged his body of the dark matter. Everything played out just as Wally imagined. President Superman thanks him. Without a doubt, he is a symbol of hope. Wally can't express how much he wishes people would stop saying that. Wherever he looks, he sees them. The heroes, the friends, the ones who died because of him. Wally is glad that everything is okay, but he has to leave. It's a shame they don't even know his name. After everything Wally did for these two worlds, they definitely want to help him. But that won't be possible, because Wally is leaving. The president hopes he finds some kind of peace when he finally reaches the end of this journey. At least he's starting to understand the idea of what he's supposed to be doing out here. But there are still so many questions. Meanwhile, we are with Tempest, who tells Wally that he did well. He wishes he could bring him to this place to truly show him his destiny, but he's not ready yet. He still has more trials to face. There are more worlds on the brink of disaster. Will his fragile psyche heal in time? We are at Zero Incursion Point, the event horizons of the dark multiverse. The dark world that will not die. There's something strange about this place, because these things weren't here yesterday. They're new. Are they statues? Or are they graves? Whatever they are, Jay doesn't have to worry. Everything is fine. His sister promises. Jay tells Iris that he's scared. Does she remember when Daddy made that same promise to them? My name is Wally West. I've been tasked with purging the dangerous dark multiversal matter from different worlds across the multiverse. Each reality looks a lot like mine, just strange. This particular Earth already feels like a nightmare. 237 people thrown off the side of a ship, nearly a mile above what looks very much like Gotham City. It's hard to be sure when you're running from one alternate reality to another. I can't really do anything until they get close enough for me to grab them. And that's exactly what I do. Everyone is in free fall, but I'm fast enough to catch them. Everything seemed to be going well with Wally and the people he had rescued. But suddenly, something strange could be heard. It was as if a missile was approaching at high speed. The weird part? It wasn't a missile, it was a ship. I'm glad I heard it with enough time to act. I quickly take everyone to the next rooftop. They'll be safe here. The people wonder if Wally can really protect them from them, referring to the villains of this place. Wally tells them that he'll need a few more details before making any promises. The truth is, I want to help, of course. But something tells me that a falling cruise ship isn't the reason I was sent here. Tempest has me cleaning up the multiverse to prevent all of reality from eroding into oblivion. But this feels like a local problem. A super problem has arrived. One of the villains the people feared the most. Superman is here. The Vampire Justice League is going to take down Wally West. Wally asks why. Superman wants to know if he's asking why Superman is here or why he's a vampire. Flash tells him both, actually, and also asks why Superman is going after these people in the streets. Superman tells him that his people need to feed. They're going to eat the civilians. Flash tells him that the last Superman he met was the President of the United States, and he liked that one way more than this world's version. But one thing at a time, he's going to take care of these vampires. Wally doesn't see any dark matter around, but that doesn't mean he can't help these innocent people. People are being rescued. No more deaths in this place, which feels a little hypocritical, considering how many of my friends I've helped die. But I need to focus. I need to trust that Tempest sent me to this world for a reason. The undead have never really been my thing, but I'll give it a shot. In fact, I'll give this Superman about 100 little shots. To be honest, back on my own Earth, I wouldn't even attempt something as suicidal as trying to take down Superman. Everything seems to be going well, but how am I keeping track of the number of hits? Is this what Tempest meant when he said I'm unleashed? Can I hold two different thoughts at the same time? I've never been this fast. I've never thought this fast. With every moment, I can feel myself changing. The hits are working. Wally has managed to knock Superman down. The problem is, he can't kill this thing. It's still Superman, but he's also a vampire, which means, hopefully, he doesn't have to. Kryptonite is to Superman what wood is to vampires. And since this guy is both, Wally is willing to bet this will work. And it does. The wooden stake manages to take down this Superman. Clark tells Wally that when he gets free, he will make sure Wally suffers a long and slow death. Meanwhile, someone has been watching him from a distance. That person realizes that Flash is good, but he didn't kill that monster, Superman, which makes him look like an idiot. Then, someone else appears and hits Wally hard. It's Flash. Barry Allen. Barry tells Wally that once, they used to believe as he does, until the leader of the Eternal Night showed them the way. Soon, the entire world will know that the shadows belong to them. He was once Barry Allen in a past life. Maybe he's thinking about that now. The person who had been watching Wally gives him credit for holding his own against Flash. He definitely deserves some respect for that. Barry keeps fighting Wally, telling him that once they free Superman, they will consume the humans here as punishment for their arrogance. Wally asks if it's his fault that they're all vampires now. Flash tells him no, not at all. So far, they've been content ruling the night. But tonight, they have received a mysterious gift. Wally has a guess. Let me guess, multiversal dark energy? Suddenly, Barry's appearance begins to change. Flash tells Wally to stay still while he turns him into one of them. Wally doesn't understand why Barry suddenly looks like Arsenal. None of them should be able to move this fast. My mind is blaming me, trying to trick me. The downside of being unleashed. Barry's got me. This is it. The Flash from another universe is about to die right here. Wally tells him no. It's never too late. Where there is life, there is hope. He has been through too much to die in this doomed world. He came to rescue people, not die in this place. Before Barry can finish him off, someone attacks him from behind with arrows. For Wally, only one of two things could have happened. Either those arrows fell from the sky, or someone nearby is helping him. Barry starts dying, but at the same time, his mind clears. Before disappearing, he thanks Wally. Flash explodes. Wally doesn't know how Barry became a vampire, but he does know that Barry never meant to kill anyone. I know that because I know what that feels like. Once Barry is gone, Wally turns to the one who fired the arrows. The speedster is shocked to discover that the one responsible is Roy Harper. Roy asks where he came from. Wally tells him it's a long story, but thanks him for the help. His main question is, why are all the heroes vampires? And more importantly, how is Roy Harper even here? Roy asks him who he is and how he knows his name. Wally tells him, because once, I was your friend. Because in one world, he killed him. Well, he doesn't say that out loud, he only thinks it. What he does say is that he doesn't belong here. He comes from another world, a different world. All Roy does is kill the undead, and Flash isn't one of them, so he has no business with him in this place. Flash chases after him. He might be able to help him somehow. Roy knows that maybe he could, but the problem is that he doesn't trust him. He doesn't know him. Wally asks for a chance. He's already seen what he can do. Honestly, he's not even sure that their problems aren't connected. Roy tells him that the Justice League is dead, feeling particularly bold tonight. Maybe it has something to do with what he's looking for. Roy is glad that Spoiler was able to help him in any way possible, if it means taking him into a fight with Batman. Wally asks if he knows where Batman lives. Surprisingly, in this place, everyone knows where the Bat lives. It's just that no one is crazy enough to go in there. It seems that, after all, they're going to work together as a team. Roy introduces himself and asks for Wally's name. It's Wally's turn to introduce himself. He's Flash, so, well, whatever. Welcome to this hell, Wally West. Wally explains that he was sent here because dark multiversal energy is leaking into this universe. Though, to be honest, he hasn't seen any of it in this place yet. Could that be the reason why all the heroes became vampires? Roy tells him that vampires go beyond all of this, and it's too sad. Batman used to be the best of the best until he decided they needed to become vampires to defeat Dracula. Once Batman turned into a vampire, Wally could guess the rest. To Wally, this sounds uncomfortably similar to the Batman he knew. Roy tells him it's good to know there are some things you can count on in every reality. But he might be right about this dark energy. The vampires seem to think that the balance of power has shifted. Something has kept them especially excited these past few days. Wally asks if Roy was really planning to take on the Justice League with just a bow, arrows, and some attitude. Roy tells him yes, of course. There's something Wally has to say. If it means anything, Roy is just as stubborn and crazy as he is in Wally's reality. A little further ahead, we see them trying to enter the Batcave. This is crazy. One of my best friends, alive again. I wish I could stay in this place, but I can't. Roy sets up some explosives to get inside the Batcave. Flash tells him there's an easier way. If he trusts him, they can just phase through. Roy doesn't feel like he has many options, so he'll let Wally lead. This has gone quite well. Roy Harper is not a fan of speedsters, but what the hell is all this black stuff in the Batcave? It looks like they've found the dark matter Wally was looking for. What they're seeing is the most corrosive and evil substance in existence, seeping into this world. If their Batman is some kind of dark vampire overlord, it makes sense that this energy would be drawn here first. The problem with this energy is that it can destroy entire worlds and devour them in seconds. To take this dark energy, fortunately, Wally has the device Tempest gave him. Before Wally can use it, he is attacked by a batarang. Vampire Batman has arrived to stop them. He thanks them, but no, he won't allow them to take this dark matter. He has analyzed it and realized that he can use it to sustain an entire world of vampires. They won't have to depend on humans for sustenance anymore. Roy tells him that's not going to happen. Wally has to get his device back to capture the dark energy. While Wally uses his speed to collect all the dark energy, Roy Harper is struck down by Batman. Now it's time for Flash. The Bat, now a vampire, can tell by his scent that he doesn't belong to this world. Wally tells him that he's Flash, the fastest man in the multiverse. He is from any Earth that needs him, just like this one needs him now. It's time to put an end to Batman. Wally hates doing this. He phases him directly into the nuclear reactor at the heart of the cave. And that's why kids should never play with nuclear reactors. They can end up trapped inside one, like Batman. Apparently, he was as good as Earth Zero's Bruce Wayne. There's no way Wally can beat him. But this should keep him contained until someone figures out how to cure his vampirism. no matter how long it takes. If he has to be in eternal agony. Well, Wally certainly knows what that feels like. Wally goes back to Roy, who tells him that once again he failed. He watched his best friend from his main Earth die. Now, in this vampire Earth, he meets the same fate. Despite everything, Roy dies with a smile. Live or die, he did it with his eyes wide open. I've been so busy feeling sorry for myself that I only saw Roy as a victim instead of the hero he always was. Right until the end. After watching his friend die again, Wally remembers everything that was taken from him. I used to hear their tiny feet hitting the floor, their little fingers turning the doorknob. It was so hard to pretend to be asleep just enough so my kids wouldn't come bother me. Wally is woken up by his children. They are Jay and Iris. My light, my life, my everything. And, of course, here's the woman I had these kids with. Linda Park West, also my everything. Moments like these are why I spend so much time saving the world. Everything was so incredible, so amazing. I had built a good life for my family. Although sometimes, it felt like a dream that would soon float away. I told Linda, I'm here. This is real. We are real. She has to trust me. I will never let this end. That's what I thought. Because suddenly, everything ends. It's too late. I promised my kids, my wife, that everything would be okay. I vibrate through the houses to rescue them. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do to save my kids. I don't understand what's happening. Iris and Jay are gone. And just like that, in an instant, I lose everything. Before Flashpoint threw me into the Speed Force, I knew exactly who I was. A dad. A husband. But now, I'm just the fastest man in the multiverse. The memories end, and Wally continues fighting in the multiverse. Flash takes a strong hit. Someone tells him to wake up, or he'll lose his head. He has to do something to defend himself before his enemy kills him. His enemy apologizes for not giving him his name. He is the super demon Etrigan. Flash tells him that if he had waited a micro-instant, he could have guessed it. But he doesn't understand. Just a moment ago, he was at home. What happened to the kids? And he also wants to know why he's here. Etrigan tells him that all his thoughts have been stripped away, but he can attest that he never left. Etrigan continues his attack. Wally asks him to let him handle this in a way he can understand. He is the Flash from an alternate reality. He's bad at the multiverse. He tells him he has to allow him to purge the destructive dark matter. If he doesn't, all worlds will fall as things drift apart. Etrigan tells him that his rhyme wasn't so bad, but he needs to know something. The demon doesn't believe anything he's saying. They won't just stand by and let him destroy their planet. Wally tells him he's misunderstanding. He may be the only hope, and all he needs to do is help. But he doesn't have to ask for details because he doesn't have them either. Suddenly, someone new arrives. She is Starfire, who demands to know what's happening here. And she does so in the name of the Justice Outlaws. Etrigan says things are now worse than feared. What started strange has now become super weird. Wally knows that something tells him these two don't know each other or even come from the same Earth. To understand how Wally got to this Earth, let's travel back a bit into the past. Earlier, Flash asked Tempest where he was. After he buried the king of the other Earth, he ran to the next world. But something strange happened. What fresh hell is this? Tempest tells him it's a place that doesn't exist, where they can see all the worlds that have been contaminated by the multiversal dark matter somewhere. The fact that Flash has accessed this place is proof that he is unchained forever. Wally tells him he keeps throwing that word around as if it means something to him. If he wants him to be his multiversal problem solver, he needs to explain how all this started in the first place. Tempest tells him they don't have time for that. The dark matter is trying to destroy two worlds by merging them. Wally gets it. Two worlds can't exist in one place. It's time for Flash to get out there and do something. Tempest knows that even if he could tell him his true mission, the information wouldn't do him any good. For centuries, he has carried out the most abominable tasks to keep the multiverse safe. But nothing has prepared him for designing the final fate of such a poor soul. And well, here we are, all these heroes from two worlds desperately fighting for their own reality. One is a horrorverse, the other, I don't really know what it is. It seems like an amalgam verse where heroes are mixed with other heroes, sometimes even mixed with villains. I want to get between them, make them understand that they need to work together if they want any hope of survival. But would I surrender if my world were threatened? Would I believe the word of a stranger when everything I cared about was at risk? Not in my entire life would I do something like that. Tempest told me that I was the only one who could prevent this multiversal dark matter from corroding and destroying worlds across the dark multiverse. But I can't destroy the dark matter without the tools Tempest gave me, like that staff. I dropped it after that hit from the super demon. I have to do everything I can to reach that staff. So I start vibrating to shake off the super demon and then start running. It's the only hope I have of separating these worlds. As thin as that hope may be, I was about to grab the staff when suddenly someone else snatches it. At this moment, we see this world's speedster. She tells Wally he's too slow. No one is faster than light speed. Wally is shocked by what he's seeing. It can't be. Linda is here, in this place. He has to tell her right now who he is. He's Flash, he's Wally, her husband. Lightspeed brushes him off. Everything he just said is really creepy. She doesn't know who he thinks he is, but this whole day has been crazy, so she won't hold it against him. Now she's going to ask some questions. If she doesn't get answers, she'll break his little toy into so many pieces he won't be able to use it. Wally grabs her and apologizes. He won't let her do that. Lightspeed asks why. Does he think it's because he claims to be her husband and thinks he can control her? Wally tells her that wouldn't happen in any alternate world they found themselves in. Then, we see the two of them running. Linda asks Wally if he's faster than her. Wally asks if she can run through entire universes. As far as Linda knows, no? Then Wally is faster. He's sorry, he should have explained. They were in the Speed Force, which not only gives them their speed, but also allows them to go back in time and observe. Linda tells him she's not an idiot. She knows what the Speed Force is. With all these words, what is he trying to say? Wally tells her that he has two worlds to try and separate before they destroy each other. He can't do that without this staff, and he simply can't do it without her. Linda doesn't know who he is, but something tells her he won't stop bothering her about this. So here we go. I've been alone since the moment I was thrown into the original Speed Force. Since I was separated from the kids and from Linda. Is that what Tempest means when he says I'm unchained? That I no longer have anyone to keep me grounded? To stop my mind from racing? To keep my heart beating? I know this isn't Linda Park, or at least not the Linda Park I married. But for the first time in a long time, I don't feel alone. I'd say it's enough to help me move mountains, but it's much more than that. It's an eternity disguised as a moment. I'm able to forget everything I've lost. I forget the death I brought to these heroes. My heart fills with hope, and that is enough. Everything returns to how it was. The worlds have been separated again. After everything ended, Linda tells him she never pushed herself to go that fast before. It's like they were controlling the Speed Force. When they were in there, she caught a glimpse of his past, of his world. Linda knows she will never be the Linda of his Earth, the woman he loved. But she knows much more about her powers now, and maybe he can teach her when all this is over. Wally is sorry. In the entire multiverse, there is only one woman for him. After those words, the two share a kiss before Wally leaves. Wally leaves this place. It's time to return to the starting point. To Wally's surprise, he arrives in a completely different world. In this place, there are statues of all the heroes who died because of Flash. But why here? Why on this planet? In my stomach, I can feel the answer churning. Suddenly, I realize why I was the only person in the entire multiverse who even had a chance to accomplish this. Suddenly, Wally is interrupted. Small voices start to be heard. His kids are here. Wally, in tears, runs to reach his children. Iris is happy that her father is here, but there's something he needs to do for them. Wally tells her absolutely anything she wants. Well, what she needs him to do is run. His name is Wally West. He wasn't always the fastest man alive, but now he is. He began this journey of destiny as a bright young teenager, a dedicated fan of the latest Flash. Over the years, he found his mentors and friends. Together, they became the titans of the modern age. He came to think of them as family until he started one of his own, first with a wife, and then with twins, Jay and Iris. Along the way, he made many enemies and allies. His whole life, he has been called the embodiment of hope, always moving forward through unimaginable tragedies. Whatever conspiratorial forces worked against him, he always found his way back home. Of course, you already know all this. You are the keeper of all knowledge of the multiverse, from now and forever. To my eternal shame, I have done my part. I have brought him here, figuratively and literally. The rest, the weight of countless worlds, depends on Wally West. We begin with Flash, Wally West. I have no words. Not after all this time. I never thought I'd see them again. Not because they died. That would have been worse than death, if you can even imagine it. They were erased from reality, as if they had never existed. Imagine a hole in your heart the size of your entire life, knowing that you are the only one who understands your loss, the only one who believes it. I lost them once. I couldn't keep them safe, but that will never happen again. I don't care what else this planet throws at me, at us. Tempest explained to me that this multiverse of dark worlds is supposed to eventually collapse and die from entropy. That each dark world is born from the fears of everyone, from the worst possible scenarios in all of existence. But they are meant to fade away for reasons you haven't yet shared with me. This is the only dark world that has not died. Its very existence has clogged the drain. The multiversal dark matter is spreading through the current multiverse, corrupting and corroding everything it touches. Before you can run out of this place, Iris tells her father that he doesn't understand. They have tried to leave many times, but every time they try to escape, that thing stops them, as if the entire planet was made to keep them trapped here. Wally tells them not to worry, their father is here now. That will make all the difference. The timing could have been a bit better, but in case they didn't get it, he guided them through time. He has seen what the dark matter can do. He ran around the multiverse trying to undo this damage, but he is not afraid. We are family. We can do this. Together, we will. Flash's children put on their suits and try to escape. Something starts happening to the kids. The dark matter is taking them. Wally can't believe it. Wally knows this can't be how it ends. This can't be their fate. After the darkness takes him, Wally opens his eyes, and we are back at the beginning. Wally apologizes to his wife. Dick, Donna, and I had a little setback. Linda tells him to be quiet. It's true that she loves him, but she will kill him if he wakes the baby. Wally tells her it's okay. His story can wait until tomorrow. It's best if she rests with the child. A little while later, the baby starts crying. Wally is the one who gets up to take care of her. The speedster tells her to relax. Daddy's here, and he promises that it will always be that way for years to come. Because no matter what happens, the fastest man alive will protect his children. The memory ends, and we are back with Wally. I don't understand. It felt so real. More than a memory. It's like I could feel all their tears in my fingers. Then, nothing. Nothing but rage. There was nothing but the rage of a father. Flash understands what this is about and curses Tempest. He is tired of all his mysterious antics and half-answers. He tolerated being his errand boy for a while, because Tempest convinced him that he was doing some good. But now, Tempest is playing with his family, and that he won't allow. He wants answers, and he won't wait another micro-instant to get them. Why did you bring me to this world? Just so I could lose my kids again? Tempest tells him he's gotten it all wrong. Wally was only able to reach this place because he finally understands the truth about why this planet must be destroyed and why. Out of the millions of trillions of life forms, he is the only one who can do it. Wally says he's had enough of this and uses his speed to attack Tempest. He has been thrown from one end of the multiverse to another. Tempest was supposed to help him with all of this. But from the very beginning, Tempest hasn't told him the whole truth. Tempest tries to stop him. Flash still has much more to learn. It's time for Wally to get out of this place. After all, Tempest gave him this staff, which allows him to purge dark matter with a burst. Whatever this world once was, the staff will transform it back. At least, that's how it worked in the other worlds, right? But for some strange reason, the staff isn't working this time. It's not absorbing the dark matter. Wally begins to understand. That's because this world isn't being invaded by dark matter. It is dark matter. To hell with all of this. I push myself beyond, faster than anyone has ever moved before. Faster than light and thought. Faster than the speed force itself. I run around the globe, purging the darkness and leaving light in my wake. It can reorganize quickly, but I am Wally West, the fastest father in the multiverse. But as I push forward, something stops me. A force I can't explain until I see it. That is the Mobius chair. And to Flash's surprise, it's empty. The Mobius chair is supposed to contain nearly all the knowledge of the multiverse. Flash hopes it will give him an answer. The chair has to tell him everything Tempest hasn't said and never will. Without words, I can feel the answer, taste it. Things that vanished in the moments before Flashpoint, torn from my hands. ripped from reality the moment I was cast into the Speed Force. I kept running, always trapped, until I went beyond where I could. I became part of something. In that instant, I was unbound, one with nothing and everything at once. What the Chair of Knowledge has communicated to Wally is more than enough. Tempest arrives, telling him that what he has just learned is more than even he can decipher at once. He should be grateful he didn't have to sit down this time. Wally says it doesn't make sense. How could he have changed so much and not remember? Tempest tells him the information was always in his head. He just refused to accept it. Wally asks how he could have known. Did he just suddenly realize he was different? Tempest asks, how could he? His family was taken from him. His comrades died because of him, and he was broken. This enrages Wally. If this was all just a cosmic adventure to put him back together, then why? Tempest tells him he already knows why. He's figured it out. Wally says Tempest just wants him to do his dirty work, to kill this world. Tempest tells him yes, and that the problem is he is the only one who can destroy it. Because Wally created this world. As soon as he says it, I know it's true. I can feel it in my heart. This dark world was born from my greatest fear, losing Iris and Jay. All of this is my fault. I can see it now. It's true, Wally has to do it. But the price is too high. He would be losing his children. He simply cannot do it. Later, Wally is back with his children. They've fallen asleep, and he tucks them in to keep them warm. He knows all of this is too beautiful to be real. Tempest has come for him. There's still something he has to do. Wally tells him no, not yet. Tempest said these dark matter worlds are created from fears and regrets. His greatest fear was always that he wouldn't be able to protect his kids from all the superpowered garbage he knew existed. This is the world he created. His worst nightmare made real. That's why Wally West is the reason the multiverse is being held hostage. Because this planet operates the way his powers do. Instead of dying from entropy like every other dark matter world, it keeps self-correcting faster than it can be destroyed. If Wally doesn't find a way to fix things now, the multiverse will be consumed by dark matter. The speedster must understand. They have very little time left. Tempest tells him the Mobius chair will overload all of his senses, mind, and heart with pure knowledge. Any capacity for emotion, passion, love, and human connection will forever elude him. Every part of his mind will be filled with all the information the Mobius chair has gathered so far, with an infinity more still to come. There will be no secrets to him. If Wally accepts this, there will be no room in his mind for anything else. No thoughts of Linda, of Iris and Jay. Not even space for himself in his own mind. Tempest tells him that's correct. He must sit in the chair, and this world will fall. The multiverse will heal itself. Wally asks if this was the plan all along. Was this the multiverse's way of making him pay for all the heroes who had died? Tempest tells him that if so, it was never revealed to him. His role was simply to bring Wally here intact. Whatever he does now is a matter of free will. Wally needs him to make a promise. He's not asking, he needs it. When this planet falls, Iris and Jay must be free. He needs them to be taken home. Tempest agrees. So Wally gets to work and thanks him for giving him the strength to remember the man he was before. Well, we already know what's going to happen to the poor man. For giving him the power to save those different worlds on his way here, right now. And for one last perfect day with his children. Tempest tells him he did that himself. The staff never had any power, it never did. All it did was channel the hope of a good man. The hope that had always been in his heart. Suddenly, Wally's children realize what's happening and rush out to try to help him. Unfortunately for them, Tempest holds them back with a single hand. Wally prepares himself. Everything seems to be in place, and he tells the son of a bitch, let's do this. It's time to sit in the chair. In the distance, his children watch. Before Wally can fill his mind with knowledge, he tells them, I love you. I always will. There's no time left. The chair takes him. Knowledge floods his mind, his body. That's when we see Wally change color. He is no longer just a speedster. He has become the new god of knowledge. In the distance, Wally's children beg Tempest, please, you have to save our father. Tempest tells them, your father is saving you. Without his sacrifice, countless realities would have been consumed by dark matter. Their father prevented that. With his dark world erased, countless other aberrations fall as well. Wally disappears from this place, and so do the other universes. Tempest is the one who now gives thanks to Wally West, wherever he may be. Jay asks his sister what their father did. Iris tells him that he did what he always does, the right thing. But what about them now? Well, Tempest made a promise to Wally, and he has to keep it. We go to Earth Zero, and right now, we are in Central City. Linda was calmly talking on the phone when suddenly, a storm appears right above her house. With its arrival, it's as if a light had been turned on. Everything that was is now new. Linda remembers, where's Wally? Where are the kids? Iris and Jay West are no longer orphans trapped in a world as dark as a pit. They are back and heading toward their mother. Together, they are the strongest creation of life, a family. Tempest has to believe that somewhere, their father is watching over them. It's time to return to Wally West. We are Wally West. No, we were Wally West, and something more. We are the Mobius chair, a singular, perfect vessel of infinite knowledge. We were the Mobius chair. We were Wally. Now, we are something new, something that never was. We see the beings who have sat on this chair throughout history. Batman, Owlman, Metron. We see Metron destroyed, erased by a man. The same man who touches the chair and shares his power with it. He is creation. He is destruction. He is the ticking clock over the multiverse. Wally is sharing his vision with that very being, accelerating through time and space. It is impossibly strange and yet so familiar. We have been here before, even though we have not. Every thought ever had races through our minds when another mind reaches out through the void. Kindred spirits. In an instant, we are more than Wally West, more than the Mobius chair, more than anyone who has ever been since the creation of the Mobius chair. She has been content to watch. Today is a new day, a new calling, a new self. Wally harnesses the Mobius chair to learn more about what has happened to the multiverse. Using his speed, he can acquire knowledge much faster than those who used the chair before him. He can see his own history with greater clarity. It all began when he became the new Kid Flash. Then, he joined the Teen Titans and formed a new team. Later, Barry was lost in the crisis, and it was Wally who had to take up the mantle of the Flash. He married Linda and had 2 children. Suddenly, everything was taken from him, and he was trapped in the Speed Force. Everything he loved was erased from time by a blue atomic god. When he returned to Earth, he tried to find peace but ended up killing several heroes. He finally found his children, and now they are safe, but the price was too high. Now, he will be trapped in the Mobius chair forever. There are no more secrets for him. He can see everything that happened from the first crisis to the last crisis. He sees the Justice Society and the Legion of Superheroes, both reappearing in the timeline. Moments and memories that had been erased have returned, but time and reality have not been fixed, only adjusted. This must be investigated. How have these versions of different realities also appeared? Wally tries to figure it out and sees the day he met Barry Allen, the day he became Kid Flash. But something is wrong. The same event happened twice, but at the same time, it is unique. This is not the only anomaly in his past. The same thing happened with the Teen Titans. The same event occurred twice in the same world, but at different times. There are more changes. Some are radical, others, not so much. Time and reality have been fractured. As he continues investigating, Wally realizes that there is no more information about the changes in time. All of space and time is broken and at risk of collapsing. The question here is, will Wally be able to reverse the damage? Well, he is not only the fastest man alive, he is also sitting in the Mobius chair. The power of the gods flows through him. So yes, he can fix this. He has the knowledge and power to restore everything. The only thing he needs to continue is for Tempest to maintain the barrier with the dark multiverse. He must protect it from what Wally is about to do. Wally begins. He must see everything. Fragments of inconsistencies from a reality that has been tampered with time and time again. He needs to focus to bring order to this chaos. But first, he must start with the present. Through time, he scans different moments, some agonizing, inspiring, hopeful, grieving, lost. There are moments that must be refined, the heroic and the terrifying. Some decisions must be made, but traditions need to be respected, honored, and commemorated, from the return to the beginning and even further back. Before Wally can continue trying to repair the timeline of the multiverse, he has to stop. This is not working because someone is changing the multiverse right now. They are corrupting it, and Wally must stop them, no matter the cost. No matter where he has to go, Wally must stop the Batman who laughs. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm TJ Prime, and see you in the next video.